PH360 platform is fully HIPAA compliant, so you can put PHI in here safely. We have BAAs with so everything is built on AWS. We have a BAA with AWS that protects everything. We've gone through our SOC 2 audit. We have our HIPAA attestation, and then we sign a BAA with any of our clients who come up. We do a lot of things. The other thing is that even if you do put PHI in, even like if we didn't have that, on the back end, what's happening is that PHI is actually being masked. So instead of going to the model with the actual like name and birthday and address and all that good stuff, it replaces it and it says first name, last name, and it says age, or it says birth date. And the reason being is because the model really doesn't care, right? All the model is doing is predicting the very next. So I'm just going to put a prompt in here. And it's basically just, I came up with this one. I'm an epidemiologist in the local health department. I've identified 12 confirmed salmonella cases, 7 days within the zip code. Ages range from 3 to 72. 3 are hospitalized. What steps should I take? So I'm going to send that. And while it's thinking, I'm going to explain what's happening. So on the back end, what is happening is it's taking my prompt. And first thing it does is it makes it better. So we use some things to create a good prompt so that you don't have to know how to create a good prompt. The system can figure that out. Then it goes through a bunch of safety and guardrail checks. So it's looking for PHI, it's looking for PII, it's looking for certain biases in what you put in. It's looking for medical context. It's looking for a whole bunch of stuff. And it's either going to replace some of that stuff, or it's going to tell you it's going to tell you it can't process something. Then it sends it to the model, and then those same safety checks are done on the response. So what comes back from the model goes through those same safety checks. And then we get a nice little response like this. So, this is, if we look through it, it'll tell me what my immediate investigation steps, the next 24 to 48 hours. So I should do case interviews, I should do case findings. Here's my epi analysis, what I should do for epi. I should do my hypothesis generation. I should do my control measures. And I asked it to give me a sample communication to my leadership. So it did. It gives me the subject and the situation, the background, the assessment. The reason why Maple is able to do this is because we have given it public health knowledge. So it's going to answer like a public health professional, and you can interact with it like a public health professional. So this is all well and good. Maple is really great, just sort of out of the box without anything. But at the end of the day, what we all know is that when you've seen one health department, you've seen one health department, and every health department is different, right? And every state is different. Localize it somehow. And that's where the power of agents comes in. So I'm going to show you how to build an agent in Oak. It is not hard. I will walk you through it, but I want to show you what an agent can do. So this morning, I took your communicable disease code for Wisconsin and all of your CDE data, and I put it into Oak, and I created an agent. So that is over 100 documents that your state agency has provided for all diseases under the sun. Well, all your reportable diseases, at least. So I am just curious, right? We're going to do this live because, I love breaking things and doing things live. So, what's a question? Like, think about something that has really been very painful for you in the past, or something that like you have gotten a question on and you're like, I have no idea. I've got to go look this up and figure this out. Like and it's taken like a bunch of time. It's saying, okay, you have hand, foot, and mouth disease, and you have this other set of symptoms. So, one of the things.
Because I'm going to test things, I'm going to send you a screenshot of the web. There. Can continue to go to daycare and school if they're fever-free, have no uncontrolled drooling with mouth sores, and feel well enough to attend.
Which is interesting because that is on their website, but it is not
in their guide.
It's not in the communicable disease manual. Which is right. This is the fun thing that happens, right? Is like because the Oak agent is built on the communicable disease manual, that's what happens. But the good news is that like if you find something, how easy it is to build an agent. So I'm going to go over to Oak, which is our agent builder. So right now, your only option for creating it, because, I don't want to take the time to type. I do have these like typed out really over here. So I'm just going to copy and paste them in here. So we just give it an agent name, we give it a description. And the next thing is we want to tell it what we want it to do. And so there's a bunch of different ways to do this. I have a way of doing it. Everyone else has a different way of doing it. It really doesn't matter. All you need to do is you need to tell it what exactly you want it to do, right? So communicable disease epi, use the knowledge from the knowledge base, epi best practices to answer the questions. If the user asks a question, you need more information, craft follow-up. Knowledge base includes disease report forms. If they ask to fill out a form, you must use one of those. Your responses must be in a professional manner and always cite your source. And then we want to tell it what to do if it doesn't know, right? Because we want to give it that instruction. So I say, if you don't know the answer, tell the user that you don't know. The reason why we got those lovely things at the end is because I said use a trauma-informed approach when answering. And so it used a trauma-informed approach when giving you an answer. So it's worried about your stress. So that is why it added that's why it added it at the bottom, right? And provide as much information as you can without making things up, right? So that's the instructions that you give it. What'll actually happen when Oak creates the agent is it's going to run that through our algorithm and it's going to create a better prompt. Just like Maple does, Oak does the same thing. It's going to create a better prompt to actually give the AI what it needs. And so the next thing is that you're going to upload your documents to create your knowledge base. Take them and I drag them over and I upload them. And then they go through and they start uploading and they start parsing. And then when they're done parsing, I'm not going to do all of them. It'll go through, it'll parse everything out. It'll get stored in your database. So nobody else has access to it, right? Everything is complete before it goes live. Whoever builds it must test it. So what's happening right now is it's building that knowledge base. It's building the memory. And it's deploying the agent out. And then once the agent's deployed, it'll give me an area just like Maple to send a prompt, a test prompt, to make sure that what I get back is what I'm expecting. And then once I do that, I can once I've tested it, I can use it personally. So it could just be for me in my Maple. I could share it with other users, specific users. So like I could say, well, I want Siobhan to have it and Jennifer to have it, but Becca, I don't want you to have it, right? And so I just share it with specific people, or I could share it with everyone in the organization, and then everyone has access to it. So it is very nice to be able to like figure that out and figure out who to give it to. So Maple is your central access point to everything. So whether you're using an agent or not, it is your interaction point. And it will continue to always be your interaction point. Everything that we are going to add on to the platform will always come back to going through Maple. The extra things that we're going to build are going to be ways of configuring how Maple responds in certain scenarios. So that's what Oak does. Oak creates agents that customize the way that Maple responds.
Got it. That makes sense.
That's
very cool.
I like to think about it as it's localized, right? Like we can only put into Maple so much like generalized public health knowledge. Like there's just certain things that are like public health is just local, and like we have to, and so that's why we created Oak, was the ability to take Maple and make it custom to your environment in a way that you didn't need to understand AI and you didn't need to understand like good prompt engineering and how to build knowledge bases and all that good stuff.
Agents and share it with their team. And I want to go back to where I started with, is like, we want to create pathways for safe and compliant use of AI that is focused and not just the Wild West, which is really what it is now. So that's the intent of it.